1-2. Hello. Try me now. How is that? Can you hear me now loud and clear? Maybe there is a delay. No, still can't hear you. There you go. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Bush. Hooray. Yeah, sorry about that. Live TV, let's say. So here we go then. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome along to this this live video then. And of course, reading by the title, Mark Hughes has been sacked. Now, this afternoon, well, this morning, the news broke. It came through. You know, my colleague at work came up to me. He's one of the blue few, and I thought it was a wind up at first, and I had to check the internet, but it is in fact true. Mark Hughes has been sacked. Do let us know. Get involved in the comments. I've seen a few of you come in already quite early onto the show. But Mark Hughes, I mean, let's say it's not unexpected. I mean, if you look at the record, he's currently the worst Saints manager in recent history. 3 wins in the last 22 matches since taking over in March. Of course, you know, we all felt a bit of momentum when he took over, a little bit, you could say. And I think more out of desperation, we were singing he could take us to the FA Cup and keep us up. But you know, perhaps we should have listened to some of the Fulham fans, the Stoke fans, you know, the not West Brom, the Man City fans. You know, this is his 5th management in Premier League now. So, I mean, of course, do let us know how you think. What you think of the sacking? Totally expected, in my opinion. Of course, you know, speaking to the fans outside the ground, you know, something needed to happen and quite quickly. But here's the statistics. This season, of course, only 1 home win. 1 win, should I say? And that is, of course, up at Crystal Palace. And the record speaks for itself. You know, 14 matches played this season, and I think it's the last 10 without a win. Of course, now we know that he has been replaced by Kelvin Davis on a temporary basis. For those of you that have watched his press conference this afternoon, I think Kelvin was quite composed. Obviously, you know, quite withdrawn, maybe a bit softly spoken, maybe a bit too quick for him, in my opinion, to jump into the hot seat. You know, fantastic servant, 10 years at the club, now behind the scenes, great character. Let's see what happens on Wednesday, and I think that's his attitude as well. You know, the media was asking him, you know, what's going to happen next after Wednesday, and he said, let's take it to there. But let's go back to me here. There we are. Hello, once again. There is Mark Hughes, giving the old shoulder. Who knows? But here we go then. Mark Hughes' departure has cost the club around £6 million in compensation, 6 months into a 3-year contract. You know, a scent of desperation, you could say. You know, he's probably one of the only managers to have earned more in compensation than actually in, you know, winning Premier League games over the years. Here's a statistic for you. He becomes the first manager to be sacked by 2 Premier League clubs in the same calendar year. Of course, he got booted by Stoke earlier this year, and he's estimated to have earned around £18 million in compensation. Just incredible. You know, having been sacked by Man City, QPR, Stoke, and now Saints. But like I said, I think the results speak for itself. It's totally not well, it's not unexpected, should I say. And, you know, I was saying quite a few weeks ago when we got, you know, when we lost at home once again, hard to find any backers, hard to find anybody that really is backing Mark Hughes a couple of weeks ago. But of course, with this, you know, this could be a fresh start. Of course, if you're reading up to date with all the news and reports today, then you may have seen the latest managerial candidate in the frame. You know, some good feelings coming out of this bloke from Austria, formerly of RB Leipzig. And forgive me if I'm wrong if you're a German speaker or an Austrian speaker. Ralph Hasenhüttl. Reports indicated today that Hasenhüttl was agreed in principle to join Southampton, and based on some Twitter feeds, then he could well be in the next 48 hours. I would imagine he may even go up to Wembley, sit in the stands, see how the team gets on, and really get into the bones of it on Thursday now. So huge game coming up at the weekend. If it is to be believed, Hasenhüttl, he should be in the dugout on Saturday at Cardiff. Now here's some statistics for you. Hasenhüttl, hopefully pronouncing that right. Do let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. So we're all about pronunciations on this show, of course. But of course, managed RB Leipzig earlier on in the season, and he's renowned as one of the most emerging coaches in Europe. And the Saints, of course, bold move by the board to finally actually grow some dignity. Show us some truth to the matters, and the board really couldn't go much longer without doing something drastic, in my opinion. But Hasenhüttl comes from RB Leipzig after what is a couple of great seasons, really. He managed several clubs in the lower divisions of German football, taking on FC Ingolstadt to the Bundesliga, as well as keeping them up. And before he's getting his chance to Leipzig, where he finished second in the division in his first season up. Not only that, though, he where are we? Let's come back here, and there it is. The joys of a one-man band, eh? But yep, second in the Bundesliga in their first season in charge. Why did they leave, Matthew? Well, apparently they couldn't quite negotiate a contract at RB Leipzig, based on the reports. But, lots of reports coming out of Germany, Austria, very exciting talent coming out of Bundesliga. I'm trying to read some of your comments as well coming in. Let us know how you feel, of course, with the potential appointment, of course. Nothing has been officially announced yet, but Ralph Hasenhüttl due to arrive at St Mary's over the next few days, we imagine. Now, of course, a couple of comments coming in through already. The BTEC Klopp, but Hasenhüttl nicknamed Alpenklopp, and that's because he has a very similar style of play to Jurgen Klopp. And I've read reports as much as I can, and he wants his team to play an energetic style of football, attacking style, high pressing style of play, and really, should we look back on the old famed Southampton way, those are really some of the what do they call them? The testaments to the philosophy. Do I think Mitchell could join us as well? Saints Rule 21. Well, if you put 2 and 2 together, it's quite an easy link to make. Of course, Mitchell his time at RB Leipzig as well, under the same time under Hasenhüttl. 2 and 2 together. I personally would love to see that. I'd love to see Paul Mitchell. Of course, we saw some of our most fruitful time in the Premier League, and some shrewd appointments, some shrewd signings whilst we were under his tutorship. So I would love to see Mitchell back, and perhaps those two could work really hand in hand and really help us sort of emerge back up the table, let's say. But as for Hasenhüttl's style of play, let's show you another picture of him so you can get to know him, I suppose. Here we go. There he is in the cold winters of Bundesliga. Get to know that face, because he could well be sitting in the dugout in a couple of days' time. But his formation. So I've heard it's a relentless pressing of opponents, often deploying a side in a 4-2-2-2. So if that's anything to go by, then we could well see still 4 at the back, 2 holding midfielders, 2 attacking midfielders, and 2 strikers. Who knows what could be there? And if it is to say that it's relentless pressing, then perhaps the likes of Charlie Austin and his glass legs won't have anything left in the tank after about 10 minutes. So we'll have to see about that. Let's head back here. And there we are. So Let us know if you think Charlie Austin could play well under Hasenhüttl. Whether he can keep up his fitness and his relentless pressing, let's say. But a couple more things as well, and from what I understand, he relies on the pace on the side of the pitch with two wing backs. So we could well see, Valerie back in the side, Cedric up and down that wing. He is electric. Bertrand on the other side and overlapping the runs to Redmond. Shane Long might even return back to that attacking midfielder role, which he scored so many goals for us under Ronald Koeman, Mark Oliver. So that's the formation that I understand, 4-2-2-2, with overlapping full-backs, using wing-back systems. So it could be another system that Saints would need to get used to. We've played almost 3 or 4 systems so far this season. We practice in the friendlies over the summer with a 5 at the back system. Then Mark Hughes basically tore up the textbook, went back to a 4-4-2 in the first day of the season, and since then he's not really had any understanding what his best formation and his best philosophy is, let's say. So a couple more comments coming in. Do let us know how you think, of your thoughts about Mark Hughes being sacked, of Ralph Hasenhüttl. What's my opinion on Valerie and Obafemi? Yeah, great to see him on the pitch against Manchester United at the weekend. I wouldn't even put it past them playing again on Wednesday. Do look out for our preview show tomorrow. Back to usual with a normal show for about half an hour long to get you into the mood. Valerie, looks like a really good talent coming through the side, and we've sort of lost that over the years, haven't we? Looks strong on the ball. Looks great up and down that wing. Got a great energy. Got a great engine to him. And Obafemi, he's a doubt for Wednesday. Came off injured, of course, against Manchester United, and we could well see Gabby and Austin up top. But Obafemi, Obafemi is injured. He's a big doubt for Wednesday. But he could well be on the bench. Who knows? And Danny Ings may be back for the bench on Wednesday as well. But as for recruitment, of course, a lot of people going around on social media saying the recruitment is absolutely dreadful, and I agree. It's not been up to standard. There's only so long we can get away with stripping our best assets without adequate replacements, and that's partly down to the reason why Les Reed has got the boot. But Hasenhüttl's recruitment, if it is to suggest that he's going to come in with Paul Mitchell, then who knows what happens? We could reignite, some of our form, our coups, as people are sort of saying in the comments here. Really find some shrewd signings once again. History suggests under his tutorship, under Hasenhüttl, he recruits young, athletic players which fit kind of perfectly into Saints' ethos. So lots to be positive about, really. I mean, you could say Mark Hughes is a dinosaur, part of the old boys club. People were saying, let's have Big Sam, David Moyes. No, not at all. Stay away from those as possible. We need to go back to our roots and find an emerging, inspiring manager, because that's ultimately what Mark Hughes was not. He was uninspiring, uninspirational. Any more adjectives, send it to me in the comments. But one more thing then, I suppose, before we head off to bed, do let us know in the comments how you feel about the potential appointment of Hasenhüttl. One more story then tonight, of course, if you're watching the FA Cup draw, Saints have been drawn with a derby, but only Derby County. I need to ask you guys this, actually. Can anybody tell me in the comments, when was the last time Saints actually drew a team outside the Premier League and the Championship in the League Cup and FA Cup? I can't remember. I'm looking back, I'm struggling to find it. Maybe it was Sheffield United in 14-15 season in the League Cup under Ronald Koeman. I don't know, somebody let me know. Do let us know how you think, Saints are going to head up to Derby, how you think we're going to get on. Are you going to go to the game? And what other players you want to see back at Southampton? Some comments coming through under Josh Sims. Really like to see him back in the squad again. We're saying at the pub at the weekends, Obafemi is direct, Valerie's unknown. I'd love to see Josh Sims back in the side as well. Running at, Wolves last season, guys, they were Championship. So any team outside of the Premier League and the Championship, when was the last time we drew a club in the League Cup or FA Cup? Yeah, I'd love to see Sims back. Direct player, unknown quantity. Yeah, some guys down here, yeah, Norwich and Fulham were there in the Championship, but when was the last time we played League One or League Two? Do you know, I would have loved to see the derby again, the actual derby, with the boys down the road, or even just somebody like Woking. Solihull Moors got a great draw with Arsenal, but I'd like to see some more youthful players back in the side, give them a chance in the FA Cup. But I suppose we better log off here then, guys. Mark Hughes has been sacked. Ralph Hasenhüttl linked to come in to the hot seat probably by Wednesday or Thursday. Wigan, of course, yeah, of course, Wigan. Totally forgot about that. It's almost sort of lost in the memories. Although it was a good day, in the freezing cold, almost didn't make it. But Mark Hughes has been sacked. No, let's not get Dave Merrington in. Keep him on comms with Adam Blackmore. But that's it for me then tonight. Mark Hughes has been sacked. Ralph Hasenhüttl has been linked. He's likely to be in the next 48 hours. If it is anything to believe by Jeremy Wilson on the Telegraph, then do believe that story he's recently published over the last few hours. Then they are set for talks, and it seems like Hasenhüttl is Saints' #1 target. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening along. If you are watching or doing anything else, you can get back to I'm a Celebrity and watch old Twitch. I don't know. I've not been watching it. Take on the next trial. Take some kangaroo testicles. Who cares? Right. That's it from me then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening along. Mark Hughes has been sacked. Up the Saints.